Welcome to Healthy by George. I want you to know that this is for informational purposes only, and it should not be considered as medical advice, nor does it have anything related to my employer. So it's always best for you to check with your own medical provider before you do anything that I recommend or for any medical treatments. So please join me, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Hey, welcome. This is MC of Healthy by George. And I'm so excited today because I have an amazing person today on our episode, Mr. Tym Moss, the Music Man. He is one of New York City's most dynamic performers. He is a singer, an actor, a stage host, a cabaret singer, a producer, and an LGBTQ activist, which is of my heart. I cannot tell you how much that makes my heart happy. And he can be seen in movies, in theater, TV, and music videos. He is one of the most diverse, talented, and inspiring individuals I've ever met. And I'm so excited to talk to him about how he stays healthy, how he keeps so energetic and engaged in his life. So if you like all of our episodes, please hit that subscribe button. Tick that bell and see us here every Sunday and Thursday, and that like button. I really would love it if you would join us in our community. Thank you. And so now, Tym, I'm so glad you're here.
MC, thank you. And wow, what an intro.
Well, I mean it all from my heart because truly, every time I see all the amazing things you're doing, that just runs this broad spectrum of performing.
Yeah.
I keep wondering, how do you stay healthy? How do you stay mentally sane?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good question. Don't master that one yet.
And how do you deal with, a lifestyle that will support all of the energy that you need as a performer in traveling, in the schedule that you keep? Like, I know you did a show last night,
Yes, yes.
And here I have you were texting me at 8 a.m. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Where in the world are you getting this energy from? So that's the really biggest question is how do you stay focused on staying healthy when you know that it's your body and your voice that are your instruments?
I honestly just follow my heart.
Oh, okay.
That's where my energy comes from, is the joy of doing what I do.
Oh, wow.
And somehow the universe always seems to supply the perfect timing.
Okay.
Like where I can have one thing on Tuesday, have something else on Thursday, and something else on Saturday. And it somehow just allows me to line all these things up. And I don't question it. I just roll with it. I just do it.
How awesome. Okay, yeah. So then that means that you are divinely in the place that you need to be in for your life.
I try to stay in the flow as best I can. Yeah.
Oh, that is
but again,
wonderful.
it's not easy.
No.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I would say my healthy habit that I do about 3 to 4 times a week. I live in Washington Heights in Upper Manhattan in New York City here.
Yes.
Right by the George Washington Bridge. From my door over to New Jersey, the Cliffs in New Jersey, and back is about 4 miles exactly.
Oh, wow.
And about 3 to 4 times a week, I walk over the bridge and I take care of mind, body, and soul all in that time.
I've seen that.
Because what I do is it's my me time.
Yeah.
It's Tym time.
Okay.
Where I can go and I can ponder whatever, I can think about whatever. But by the time I get up to the bridge, that's my rehearsal time. Because there's nobody around, I can just sing at the top of my lungs. And that's when I rehearse my music. I run lines.
Wow.
I practice memorizing. I do all that as I'm walking. And before I know it, I'm back across. I walked over and come back on the bridge.
That's amazing.
And so and the physical exercise is for the body.
That is amazing.
So, yeah. So I do the mind, body, and soul thing all in one.
That is so cool. So when did you start doing this? Like when?
Well, I did it years ago, but I really started kind of regimenting it during the COVID.
Oh, okay.
Because it got me out of the house. And
Yes.
I could.
No kidding. That's true.
And again, it's big enough and wide enough that there's social distancing. So I could walk and sing and hold notes and do all of that. And
how inspiring.
But that is my exercise regimen.
Well, one of the things that I love about you, and I just did an episode about how to incorporate play in your life, is that you do these things that are like, what is it, the snow dance?
Oh, yeah.
You do these things of bringing fun dance into your life. What brought that about? What made you decide to do that?
I don't even remember. I think just years ago, everybody's always griping about, oh, gosh, it's snowing. There's a snowstorm, and I only do them when we get like a foot and a half or 2 feet,
I know.
like when it's really big.
Yes.
So I haven't been able to do one for the past couple of years.
No.
But I just decided, let me just do something fun. And I thought, let me make a snow angel. And so I took the camera over to the park and I just thought, let me just dance in the snow. So I just said, this is a snow dance. And I did it. And everybody started commenting on it. They're, oh my God, I love that. I love that. I love that.
I did too. I
And
loved
every year since then, everybody's always asking me, when's your next snow dance? When's your next snow dance?
Exactly.
And all I do is just go like something silly, move around and jump around, and that's it.
But to be honest with you, that kind of playfulness is so much needed as adults. We're never playful as adults. We're never silly as adults. And to add that to our life for whatever reason is a huge benefit to our well-being. So
I agree.
You're leading the way, dear heart.
Well, I recommend everybody find out what just makes you laugh or makes you feel good. If you like to color.
Yes.
If just anything that we used to do as children.
Yes.
You want to go out and run around in circles in the middle of the park? Do it. Don't pay attention to what people are looking or saying.
I know.
Just do it.
Exactly. Like I talked about dancing in line while you're waiting for something and you hear some music.
Yes.
Dance in line. Why not? Do a little jig, get people dancing. Why not?
I just happened to think of something about the evolution of my bridge walk and rehearsal.
Yeah.
It originally started years ago. When I was almost 300 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I had went over the bridge. I would start walking over the bridge, and I just didn't like to walk. So I would put my headphones on and listen to dance music, and I would dance across the bridge and dance back.
Wow.
And I started building up like this whole fan base. Like semis would honk, and
I know.
cars would honk and wave and dance behind the wheel while they saw me. But then the arthritis in my knees started really singing. So I had to forfeit that. I completely forgot about that. And so you mentioned dancing.
How interesting.
But I used to dance over the bridge and back, and I still wanted to go back up. So during the pandemics, when I realized I can walk over the bridge and I can rehearse and sing and practice. So.
See, I remember I think I got close to 300 pounds about how many years ago? I forget. It's been a long journey of weight loss for me.
Oh, same here.
I've been a heavy person all my life, and it was only like I had to have hip surgery in 2017 that I really faced a very, challenge that I had to do something about my weight. And the truth is that I'm just one of those people that no matter what I did, I couldn't lose weight.
Right.
And so, it was looking at how many choices did I have to choose to lose weight. But
right.
I don't think I've ever seen you at 300 pounds. You look very slim.
Yeah, that was, I think, about 2013, 2012, 2014.
Oh,
I
wow.
had bariatric surgery then.
And what made you decide to do that?
Well, just everything. The knees, again, I couldn't dance anymore. I wanted to make the change. I'd had a really weird evolution in my life.
Really?
I grew up in the 60s and the 70s in the countryside of Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Growing up gay and not knowing it and not knowing why and trying not to be. And that was a whole thing.
I was
then
in the
I moved to New York.
Yeah.
I moved to New York so that I could come out and
Be
live my life
yourself.
openly and also... And then I got manipulated into real estate and pulled me away from the entertainment. And I thought, that's what I have to do now for the rest of my life, because I woke up one day and I owned a company.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, because he kept manipulating me and pushing me to get my license and my license and my license because he wanted me to stay there, not go out to not drift off into the entertainment.
Right.
So he used to be in entertainment with like Elizabeth Taylor and Sinatra and all of these heavy hitters. And he was telling me, "Oh, you don't have any talent. You're not that good. Stay here in the real estate. Stay here.
What?
And I believed him. He knew talent. So I just assumed he was right.
But you're so talented.
I gave up on entertainment. I gave up on life. I started reaching for drugs and alcohol.
Oh, dear.
And I developed this incredible drug and alcohol addiction over the course of 20 years.
Wow.
Which really should have killed me. But during that time, my drug of choice was cocaine.
Oh.
And that usually curbs the appetite.
Right.
But I would make myself eat at specific times, whether I was hungry or not.
Yeah.
And that actually, in the long run, saved my life.
Wow.
Because I wasn't emaciated. I wasn't like
you had calories.
Yeah. So, but that mentality still stuck with me. So after I started rehab, then I would still eat even if I wasn't hungry. And then I stopped smoking after 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And I dropped a 20-year drug and alcohol addiction one year and a 30-year smoking addiction the next year. And I started eating everything in sight.
Oh, my God. But think of the brain power for you to truly suddenly decide, I'm changing this. Do you know how hard that is?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And because I was so far gone with the drugs and the alcohol that I didn't know what was right or wrong or anything. I relied completely on the therapist to tell me what to do.
Oh,
and I had to reverse. And basically, there were some people that said I would never recover. I was just so far gone that I will never be normal again.
Oh, dear.
And I've worked very, very hard. And one thing also that has helped me is therapy.
Yes.
Especially in this town. Oh, I am a big advocate of therapy.
Me too. I so believe in therapy. Like I have never, ever, I started therapy in the 90s.
Nice.
And if I had not gone to therapy, I would never be where I'm at right now. Never. Thank God for therapy.
Yeah, same here. So I put on all this weight, and I got up to about 300 pounds, and everything was failing.
Wow.
I mean, and so they told me it would be wise to have bariatric surgery.
Okay.
Well, I went down to 210, and then you always bounce back up to a little bit.
I know.
I got up to about 225.
Oh, that's
and
not bad.
Everything was going fine for a couple of years. And then the pandemic hit.
Right.
And I'm indoors eating all the time and went back up. And then I started exercising again. So I went back down a little bit. And I've been here ever since. At about, I still need to lose maybe about 15, 20 pounds. But that'll happen when it happens.
Yeah, but do you feel like you have to be so strict with yourself or so rigid? You're just
I should probably be more strict and more conscientious than I am.
Really?
It's not easy. But also then I have the lifestyle.
Well, that's the problem, is that you're on the road.
Right. Yeah, I'm on the road. I'm here. Like last night, I did a song in the Lower East Side Festival of the Arts, which is the theater for the new city, which I love.
I know, I do too.
And it was a great audience and great response. And but the song that I opened with, it pertains to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know the Hairspray, the musical?
Oh, yes. I love it.
The song Welcome to the 60s, like the 1960s.
Yes, yes.
Well, I changed it around.
Okay.
And I come out with a walker and a wig and a robe. And I'm singing, oh Lordy, look at me. Somehow I've turned 60. Oh Lordy, look at this. Every few minutes I have to piss.
Oh.
And welcome to the 60s. Welcome to the 60s.
Did someone record it?
I think some people did, but I haven't got the copy of it yet.
Please,
but
get
actually,
that.
I'm doing it again next weekend at Queen's Pride.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'll be performing it out at Queen's Pride.
See?
But it's just nobody tells you about this aging thing and what happens to the body
Yes.
and the adaptation You have to adapt to these new things that are just happening completely out of the blue.
Exactly. Listen, it's like, I when I had to have my hip surgery, and then now they're telling me I need to have it on my left side. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me something to prevent the left side becoming bad like the right side?
Right.
I had no idea that I was prone to this arthritis. None.
Oh, geez.
So, exactly. It feels like as you're getting older that somehow you're kind of, it comes at you sideways. You don't expect it. Especially when, don't you feel like your mind is still 30 years old or something?
Oh, please. I'm still in my 20s. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I can be walking down the street and there's a puddle and my mind is like, oh, sure, just do a plie, jump across it. I get halfway across and my body's going, you're not in your 20s.
Hello.
And I end up paying for it.
Yes.
Last night at the end of this song, I just decided kind of last minute that I would do like a little jump spin while I'm holding the walker.
Uh-oh.
And, am I paying for it today? I can get it in my back and up in my neck. And
no.
I think that's for that little jump I did last night.
Listen, I totally get it. When I used to do all the improvisation and I would be pretending I was a little girl, I would so pay for it the next day. I'm like,
and you feel it. You can feel the little girl in there.
Well, yes.
And it's wonderful.
It's in your mind, and you've got the adrenaline.
Yeah.
And you're feeling it in the moment. But the next day, your body's reminding you, oh, you're not that little girl. Hello.
Right.
You are a 60-year-old woman. Although I would have never thought you were in your 60s.
63. I just turned 63 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had the wonderful birthday.
Yes. I had everybody
that.
so sweet. A lot of people were taking me out to dinner.
Yes, that was so amazing. So, I just tell you, so let me ask you, when did you really feel that click that, no, I'm not a real estate person, I'm a performer?
Well, here's the weird thing. In a way, I almost didn't.
Really?
Because he had been manipulating me and pounding me down and I forgot. I did the drugs so much that I became an amnesiac. I had lost my memories and I had a brain atrophy, which is where the brain swells. And I had scar tissue on my brain from having a couple strokes and not knowing it, like light strokes.
Oh, wow.
And so when I started rehab, my memory started to come back, which was really weird. But one of the first memories to return, and I hope I can say this without crying, was this beautiful, bright, white light that just came up from the bottom of my soul and it surfaced. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a singer.
Yes.
I'm an actor.
You
I
are.
had forgotten for 20 years of my life, I had forgotten that's who I was.
You are.
And I grabbed a hold of that and I said, I want to get back into it. That helped to lead me out of that darkness, along with the help of the therapists and the counselors and doctors. And
I tell you what,
that is how I got out.
You give me chills, Tim. You're giving me chills here because, it just shows you how divinely your life has pushed you exactly where you need to be. Because every time you perform, it's like you bring this amazing love and generosity and fun and unexpectedness that is just so pleasurable to be a part of when we see you perform. I cannot tell you. And just recently when you performed at a mutual friend's memorial, I just don't know how you did that song, that I did it my way. But I have to tell you, I think in so many ways for some of us, like myself, who, we transition to truly become our true self.
Yes,
which sometimes takes a while.
Right.
That it truly is about finally finding a way to do it your way.
Absolutely.
And that it was so, I don't know, your performance, and I hope people will take a look for it. It's on YouTube. Your performance was truly just so impactful and so beautifully sung as well.
Thank you.
Really, really. I mean, your singing, your lung power. Oh my God. I'm just so jealous. I'm really jealous. So.
And but also I just wanted to kind of add that, like, my way may not work for you and your way may not work for the next person.
Of course.
And everybody has to find their own way and what works for them. Like for me, hitting the bridge 3 to 4 times a week works for me. That might not work for everybody.
No, I know.
Find out what works for you and experiment, and just joyfully experiment. Like find things that you used to do that you like to do. You might not be able to do it as much,
right?
But try it and see what happens. It might lead you in a completely different, fun-filled direction.
Well, it's like what you're sharing. It's not so much about your body. It's more about your mindset.
Absolutely.
It's like, I think I can, so I'm going to try it.
Right. And back to the rehab, when that beautiful memory resurfaced for me, I remember thinking, I want to get back into entertainment. I want to see what happens. And as soon as I committed to that, the universe started dropping the most miraculous things right in my path.
You're kidding me.
In this narrow pathway. And that's what I started following, was that narrow pathway that would light up.
Wow.
And I know this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to do. Well, that narrow pathway has widened to an ocean now.
It
I'm
is.
swimming in an ocean of endless possibilities right now.
I know. I'm so thrilled. I love to see how broad all of your performing has become. The comedic, the seriousness, everything. To me, I'm an avid fan of yours on all of the social media.
Likewise.
I love to see everything you're doing, and it's so inspirational for me. And I just hope that you keep encouraging and doing, because you're such a bright light. And I think you sharing your story about, that revelation of wellness is, I'm going to do this and show up in my way. Is so important.
Absolutely.
So if you had one thing to say to your younger self, what would you say?
Trust your heart.
Trust your heart.
Because I had other people telling me, oh, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And my heart was like, no, I don't want to do that. But I did it anyway.
Yes.
So if I would have trusted my heart, my life, the path of my life would have been completely different. But
still,
it is what it is.
Right. And your path right now, dear heart, is extraordinary.
Well, thank you.
It is extraordinary. And I just hope that it'll continue to blossom and become such a bright light for so many people who I know feel timid and uncertain about following their heart.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate you being here. I just want to share how you're an inspiration of all your playfulness and fun, and that you do it with such carefreeness that I wish is so delightful. It's so delightful.
Well, thank you so much. And I just love and adore you, MC. Thank you for all you're doing, for what you're doing here. This is so wonderful and so important.
I'm trying to develop a pain device for the HIV population that suffer from chronic pain. And I keep it kind of quiet because it's not part of what I do with Healthy by George. It's what I do as a scientist. But I'm very excited, and I'm starting the research. Will launch hopefully in mid-June.
How exciting!
Yeah, because I'm a huge advocate of the whole LGBTQ plus community. It's been a very big passion of mine. And it to me, one of the things that I know is very severely needed is something to help with chronic pain.
Absolutely.
And so we'll see what happens.
Right. I'm sorry, this might take me a couple minutes, but I also just want you to be aware, because people are not aware of this.
No, I know.
I was hosting, I was co-producing and going to be hosting and performing for the first time at an event at Carnegie Hall for Pride. And we had amazing talent. We had Sam Smith, Lil Nas X wanted to do a number. Pete Buttigieg wanted to come and speak. We had Laverne Cox, et cetera, Billy Porter, everyone was on the list. And in November, we had a whole list of corporate sponsors that were going to contribute to it.
Right.
And in November, they said, just let us know when you need the money and we'll cut the check.
Okay.
Well, in February, I knew it was going to get really busy with this show.
Yes.
So I went to Paris for about 10 days, which I had a ball. I've never done that before. I went to another country, didn't know the language, didn't know the city, just did whatever I wanted for 10 days. It was glorious.
It looked
I
wonderful.
highly recommend people do that. That was good for the soul.
Good.
And so I told him, I said, while I'm gone, you call the sponsors and get the money in. I get back, he goes, all of the corporate sponsors backed out.
What?
And I'm like, what's going on? Well, they had a fear. You know, the Bud Light can.
Yes.
And the Target display, how they got the backlash from the right.
Yes.
They were all nervous about that. But we found out later, a few weeks ago from a congressman or a congresswoman that in the House of Representatives, there was a group of right-wing Republicans that had sent out a warning to all American corporations not to fund or not to contribute to any Pride events this year. And New York City Pride, they got hit bad. Like they had to cancel the concert on the pier. They had to cancel the rally because they had no funding.
Wow.
And and so we had to postpone our show until next year.
Unbelievable.
But it was just so devastating, and none of us saw this coming. So I just wanted everybody to know what is happening out there. There's a lot of underhanded stuff going on here.
Yeah, I see.
But that's another thing that we're dealing with this year in our community.
Well, I just wrote a chapter in that the HIV positive population is considered the vulnerable of the vulnerable, because
absolutely,
even though we're almost 40 years past the HIV epidemic, that we still have huge stigma to deal with, which to me is perplexing. It's just perplexing.
I agree.
In fact, I used Billy Porter's wonderful coming out in his TV show for the first time that he was HIV positive, in demonstrating how even though you can be a famous person, the hesitancy to share that you are HIV population publicly is humongous. And
in 2024.
Correct. It's huge. And, I have so many stories because I worked in the trenches in the 90s in the HIV population. And that it's just, to me, it's mind-blowing that we're still dealing with this kind of stigma. I agree. A young lady, she was 21, and she became positive. She had unprotected sex, and, she didn't know that it was a risky situation. And she shared it on social media, and she got just blasted. She got blasted.
Oh.
And so she came out and said, I'm just never, ever going to share this ever again to anyone.
Wow.
So it's so discouraging for me that we still have this community of people who just are so highly judgmental.
Absolutely.
And that shouldn't be. Things happen. It's just things happen. And what's so wonderful now is we know that HIV is not a death sentence. It's something
not anymore, thank God.
Exactly. You can manage, and that this should not be stigmatized like it is.
Right.
So I'm championing you, and I will support any Fund Me account. So make it happen, all of you wonderful supporters out there. Let's do let's not let anything like this stop us.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's keep supporting the love and kindness that should be in the world.
I agree. The love and the light will win out over fear and darkness.
Amen.
Every time.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for being such a beautiful soul, and I just look forward to all the future that you're going to bring to the entertainment world.
Oh, thank you, MC. I so appreciate this. This was wonderful.
Oh, I loved it. It was awesome. So thank you to my audience. This is MC of Healthy by George. Please join us every Sunday and Thursday. Please subscribe. Please click the like button, the bell. We all want to have a community of kindness, love, and longevity. Thank you. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.